Travel and tourism is an important economic activity in most countries around the world, as well as its direct economic impact. The industry has significant indirect subdivisions. The UN Statistic Division approved tourism satellite accounting with methodology TSA-RMF 2008 quantifies only the direct contribution of travel and tourism, but WTTC recognizes that travel and tourism's total contribution is much greater and aims to capture its indirect and induced impacts through its annual research. By 2018, Cuba, as direct travel and tourism contribution, had three subdivisions, which are commodities, industries, sources of spending. As commodities, we have accommodation, transportation, entertainment, and attractions. As industries, we have accommodation service, food and beverage service, we have retail trade, transportation services, and cultural, sport, and recreational services. As source of spending, we have residence, domestic and tea spending, business, domestic travel spending.
The social culture in Cuba impact it is about to the Cuba's African descendants in perspectives and dimensions that are very generally right and very difficult to change. What we made to call the Cuba social historic paradox, where blacks and mestizos have given a role in a social and cultural, economic, etc., which many African descendants achieve superiority ranks in every particular in this single completing should at the Italian independent street. As life often demonstrated their relation and rarely against their inhumanist possessions. African descendants, they never will never be perceived and treated as fair class cities. Without the integration of African descendants, there is not a Cuban nation.
The socio-cultural impacts of tourism describe the effects of community of direct and indirect relations with tourism and the interaction with the tourist industry. The interaction of the two groups will be a major issue in affecting the type of impact. Impacts arise when tourists bring change in value systems, behaviors, and change often occur in community structure, family relationships, collective traditional life, styles, ceremony, and morality. But tourism can also generate positive impacts as it can serve a supportive force for peace, foster pride and cultural traditions, and help avoid urban relocation by creating local jobs.
Cuba is extremely rich in biodiversity. In addition to its forests and terrestrial wildlife, there are two specific threatened ecosystems worth discussing. The coral reefs are very important to tourism and could face much higher traffic in the next few years due to its increase. This increase could easily lead to the ecosystem destruction from the sheer number of people touching and stepping on the various delicate parts of the reef. However, another lesser known and quality important ecosystem is Cuba's mangrove. Unsustainable tourism industry development has already destroyed around 10,000 acres of mangrove ecosystems that are extremely rare and valuable for their role in coastal protection from pollution and soil salination.
Environmental impacts of tourism in Cuba. Cuba's environmental history has been mixed bag of successful preservation and accidental extinction. The settlers who introduced new plants that thrive in Cuba's soil also caused the extinction of certain animals, including species of sloth and monkey. The communist overthrow in 1959 brought with it new environmental efforts, but it was Cuba's lack of trading with most of the world, and thus it focused on agriculture instead of heavy industrialization that accidentally did wonders for wildlife through the 60s and 70s. The embargo between US and Cuba and the resulting travel ban kept dishes and habitats safe from the strain of tourism industry. The dissolution of the Soviet Union had interest impact on the Cuban environment. With the Soviet Union gone, Cuba lost 80% of its import and export economy. As a result, Cuba plummeted into widespread poverty. To remedy the situation, Cuban government embraced international tourism of the good of the economy, creating the need to build new buildings on the coastline, which inevitably damaged the environment.